Let's be honest, there are a lot of assumptions out there about homeschool mamas, and then it's crazy. What do we do with our days? How do we use our time? What do our lives actually even look like? Well, so behind the scenes, there are some powerful truths that we wish you knew, that we wish others knew. And so today in this video, we're gonna explore the first five. Really, there are 10. I'm gonna give you the first five today in part one of this video. So whether you're curious, skeptical, or just trying to understand, this video is for you. Alrighty, hey you guys, this is Christy Young
and Heather Copeland
with The Gritty Gospel. You guys, we want to jump right in today with 10 things that we wish you knew about homeschoolers because we hear the craziest things on the street or in Sam's Club or in Walmart or from sweet, well-meaning people. And we would love to put on blast just 10 things, including the whole issue of socialization, which is really a moot point now. I don't know, we just want to blow it wide open for y'all. So we're going to jump right in with one great startling statistic.
Yes. So in 2024, as of 2024, there's 3.7 million students homeschooling.
Y'all, that's 3.7 million students that are being homeschooled.
Yay! We want to encourage y'all today and let you know about us homeschoolers, our homeschool kids.
Yes.
Just to encourage you.
Yes. Well, then our intention, even in doing the podcast, is always, homeschooling is one of the content pillars for this podcast. We just have hearts for homeschooling, hearts for discipleship and homeschooling, but we know that it's not one size fits all and that it doesn't suit everyone and it's not for every family. So we want you to know that our aim with the podcast is not to condemn you if you're not homeschooling, but only to encourage you and put steel in your spine if that is your conviction and your joy, your love, and your desire to do that. We would love to encourage you in it. So our number one, the first thing that and these are not in any particular order, but the first thing that we wish that other people knew about homeschooling is this, that we are not aiming to replicate school in a classroom at home. That's not even our desire. In fact, that's really like the whole reason, or a good significant portion of the reason that we are homeschooling. We desire to do things differently. So for a variety of reasons, we are not often aiming to replicate school that's typically done in a classroom at home. And I think this is one of the hardest things that as a new homeschool mom, if you're new to homeschooling, I think it's really easy to fall into the trench of trying or believing that you need to replicate school. Maybe for us, we both went to public school, like growing up in public school, trying to replicate that at home. And really, it's not impossible to do, but man, I just feel like there's such great freedom and flexibility at home that you have the privilege of going to do like math with your littles on the driveway. You can go, we've read on our trampoline. We get to go sit in hammocks. We can do things in an unconventional, untraditional way that, I don't know, that to me promotes a love for learning. What do you think?
It's not like being in four walls. All right, we're going to do math right now for 45 minutes, and then we're going to move to history. That's not it. And especially being new is, like Chris said, it is hard to fight that because I do things a lot different. I have 5 kids than with my older son than what I do with my girls because they're the youngest. It's not so rigid. I felt like it was too much like public school. And so there is beauty and freedom in that. And we do not want our homeschool to look like the regular school setting, homeschool, or not homeschool, but public private school setting. So what's number 2?
And then part of that is knowing what to focus on and what to let go. Because I think there are, in an ideal world, I know that I always set out every school year aiming to get a lot of things done just because of my personality. And then faithfully, as I jump into school, I've learned though that my goals are always a little bit unrealistic, and I've got to see what's reasonable for the day in our home with all the kiddos we have, all the different ages, making sure that nap times, breakfast, all of the things, because we're still also running homes and getting school done. Okay, so number 2. Our second thing that we wish everyone knew about homeschoolers is this, that when we hear it all the time, we have sweet, well-intended people who will come up and say, man, I could never homeschool. And then I wonder, or you vacillate wondering if a lot of people feel unqualified to homeschool their kids. They don't feel like they're smart enough, or they didn't get far enough in math, or they feel like they, at a certain point would age out and not be equipped to help their kids. Why don't you jump
that
on that
is
one?
So like from the pit of hell, guys. I said that a lot. Sorry. But no, it's not. You are qualified. When God calls you to something, He will see you through it. It says it everywhere in the scripture. He'll never leave you or forsake you. He is always there. Like when you are called by something, He will finish the good work that he started in you. So do not be afraid. Do not listen to the world and being qualified, y'all. That is not the fact. That is not the case.
And then we were talking about this a few minutes ago. It's funny, and I heard Bodie Bauckham say this. Of course, we gotta like name drop Bodie in every one of these things. I mean, I'm joking, but we love him. He said that it's ironic, right, that we would then, if we feel unqualified to teach our kids, then we would send them to the very institutions that we feel like did not qualify us or equip us to teach our children. That's like ridiculousness, right? So I think for me too, I feel like the Lord has blessed us with our children, and then He equips us as He calls us, and I totally believe that. I don't know, that as we walk through this journey, even in things that you don't presently know how to do, it's amazing how, as your kids are learning and you know they need to learn, you learn alongside them and you figure it out. And then you realize, to me, you baby step, realize that you're incredibly equipped, or you have friends around you. Like I know for us, I personally love writing. I was an English major. I went to law school, all these things, and I love, my brain just works like that because of who God has made me to be. And then I get to bless our homeschooling community.
Yes, we love a writing class.
With teaching writing, and I enjoy it. And then Heather.
And I would say on that, like, so math was my weakest subject. It still is my weakest subject. But y'all, when I nail a math problem that is right, that I struggle with as a 9th, 10th, 11th grader, just my whole life with math, oh my gosh, it is so exciting. Like, you can relearn stuff. Actually, you can probably even learn it if you didn't quite get it back then.
Initially,
but like every day you should constantly want to learn. And it's exciting when you and your children can learn right alongside each other, because mommy doesn't know everything. Christy doesn't know everything. And it's just good to just dig in and like, okay, we're going to figure this out together. Like, I'm not an expert on everything, but then we get to dissect it. And when we get it right, we celebrate big.
Yes. Well, and then in our co-op, I feel like we need to do a video on to co-op or not to co-op, because we could give you all the pros and cons, because we've been a part of co-ops and not been a part of co-ops, but I feel like there are people in our co-op who love to teach theology or love to teach apologetics or love to teach humanities and literature. And we are so blessed. We don't have to know how to teach everything because we're a part of an incredible group of women that have incredible skills from the Lord and loves and passions, and they all get to bless and equip our children. Okay, people have all kinds of opinions about homeschooled kids. In fact, one of the stereotypes is that they are weird. And I just want to like jump out there and say, not to be trying to be offensive, but there are plenty. There are plenty of weird homeschoolers, and but y'all, there are plenty of weird public school kids and plenty of weird private school kids. I mean, it's not fundamentally, and y'all know just from especially if you have a large family or if you're just around. I mean, all you have to really do is be around children. Y'all, everyone is uniquely equipped by the Lord. They all have different personalities, and if you have a child that's just sort of like bent toward a little bit of awkwardness or I don't know,
goofiness.
Then it doesn't matter whether you send them to public school, private school, or whether you homeschool them. They're probably just those are gonna be traits that they exhibit in any of those environments. Yes. So I just feel like gone are the days where there are weird homeschoolers.
Yes, that's not.
Or that we attribute that to. Certainly there are weird homeschoolers, but it's not because of homeschooling. No. And so I just feel like, now, especially now that there are shockingly so many people being homeschooled, I think it's helping to blow the myth that homeschoolers are weird. And then, I don't know, I think so much of that too is a byproduct of the parents and how they raise their kids. That's
what me and my husband talk about. It's like, well, look at the parents. Like, if they're a little bit different, then okay, the apple don't fall far from the tree. That doesn't make it wrong, and I kind of like to be different. Like, that's why we choose the path to go on, because we don't want to look like the world. We want to be different. So if we are a little weird, then we just embrace it. It's okay.
I love that. Okay.
Okay, and number 4, this is probably one of the big ones that we hear all the time, is socialization.
And we're tired of it.
Yes.
Please stop talking about socialization. As if it's a thing. It's not a thing.
It's not. Y'all, especially being in a big family and having different ages, I just feel like the homeschoolers that I've been around, and for my family, that they are more equipped than public school kids and private school kids because they're out more. We actually go to the school together. Store together. We go to the ball fields together. We go to stop by dad's work together. Like, we're always out, and we're not always with the same 9-year-olds or 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds. So we're actually talking to adults. And just today, before I came over to Christie's, the neighbor was out walking with his wife and dogs and 2 kids. And my children, I thought it was Scott they were talking to because I was sitting on the patio. And it's the neighbor. And they're just having this full-blown conversation. I was like, Daddy's home, Daddy's home. And they all went out of the yard into the street to talk to them. I don't see that often from the public school kids. Like, I just feel like the way that we're teaching them and training them up and the places that we go where we have to be social is actually teaching them more to talk to adults. I really strive to teach my children to be able to speak to adults because everybody, they know how to speak to kids, but man, it's a big deal when they go and talk to strangers. When they go and talk to adults, like, that's huge.
Well, and then I think where I land on this too is I've just been able to watch, like, my kids, when we have, like, somebody, the pest control guy, come to our house, they are going to help interact. They're going to see me interact with him. We're going to talk. We go to the bank together. Our biggest, oldest girls have bank accounts, so they are depositing checks, doing the things that we do. They're going grocery shopping or going to Sam's Club with me. They're helping do all the scan and go as we check out. And I don't know, all throughout the day, they are with me as we interact with real life situations that they are going to encounter, and I don't know, they get to see us process and us deal, and then they get to watch us deal with conflict and aiming to do that in a godly way. And so to me, while I totally can appreciate that, you know, there are going to be public school kids who do that well, private school kids who do that well. Again, this video is mostly just to encourage those who would be interested in homeschooling, that I feel like homeschooling offers a plethora of opportunity for your children to be socialized. And then Heather and I, just between the two of us, if I let me run down, then you run down just a list of the things we do in a week. So we both, I can do some for both of us. We have church, we have small group, we have our co-op, which is 40 families-ish.
Yes.
We have baseball, we have football that's about to get started. So we're dealing with all of the parents, we have debate and speech. We have, and I'm sure that's only like, I don't even know, just, anyway, you get my point. We are a part of a lot of different activities, and then and then they're out with me every day doing all of the everyday things. So to me, and I love it that Vodi Bakum says this, he's like, when are our children in life ever needing to have the skill as a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old to be around 30 kids that are the same age? That's not a life skill. When do you and I ever go out into the culture, and when do we ever have to be around? When do I ever have to be around 30, 41-year-olds? Never. Like, literally never. That's not a life skill. It's not a thing. So to me, this argument where people worry about socialization, I just feel like it's really a moot point.
Okay, and number 5 is homeschoolers actually have structure and curriculum. Guys, we do. And me and Christy talk about this a lot. So we have goals that we set goals for the summer. And I told her, I was like, I really want to try to do school. Like, if we don't do it every day, but 3 days a week, it literally makes our life easier. It makes us get up in the morning. We have certain expectations. You're going to do your math. You're going to do your reading. You're going to do your chores. Like, it literally sets your schedule. The structure is amazing. And then we're not just clicking on, I don't know, YouTube and saying, all right, this is your science fair day. We actually do have books. There's other things, even though that is good. You can do that. But it's like, we're not unschooling our kids. I know that's a thing. But we actually do that. And that's okay. Yes. But like, we are teaching from a book, and then, gosh, the discipleship that happens, opening the Word of God in the morning to start our day, like, that definitely gives you structure, and that should be your whole curriculum.
Well, and I think what we want to hit on with this one is too, that sometimes we get the vibe that people are like, what do you do all day? Or are you really working? Or what? Or man, you got to
playing a lot.
Are y'all were done in like 3 or 4 hours? You know, what are you actually getting done? And I just want to like let you into a behind the scenes, if you're not a homeschooler, that man, we pour over curriculum. Really, I know that we do in our house. And I'm a part of a co-op where I'm with a whole lot of moms where we're always generating ideas, talking about curriculum, seeing what would work for a certain personality type of a child, or like the kinesthetic learner versus someone who loves to read. And their curriculum is designed to target all of those learning styles. And so with great care, really, homeschoolers choose and plan curriculum. And then the structure of our days, to me, we're always playing with new rhythms. We're always trying new things. But overall, and we do it very similarly, we enjoy jumping off the day with chores and then God's Word, maybe World Watch, worship, and then maybe Bible memorization a little bit, and then we split off into independent learning or to the right and left of that. So I feel like you have to have structure to survive, I feel like, especially in a large family. So all of that's happening behind the scenes. And then some days though, school does, if we can be efficient and people have good attitudes and there's not whining and the baby's not crying, things aren't blowing up, spills aren't being made, and I don't know, if everything doesn't take a ton of time, which sometimes it does, then school can get done in 4 hours. And then we've done it well and done all the subjects we aim to hit. And then other days though, it does not go that way, and it takes 6 or 7 hours maybe if we need to take breaks, if I can tell, But behind the scenes, yes, we have structure and curriculum. And that's just the beginning. The next 5 truths, they cut even deeper. They may even challenge the way you see homeschool families. Don't miss part 2, because we're just getting to the good stuff.